Hello everyone. Today I will be explaining why Grand Dynasty was excluded from the Castlevania Netflix adaptation. Sorry if I don't include my sources and just showing a pic of the logo, I don't want to get sued. But first, let me back up a bit at the end of Season 2. After Season 2 had ended, the head creator, Adi Shankar, said that Grant was indeed in the world of Netflix Castlevania. This gave us Grant fans a lot of hope. And there was an unpopular theory that the bandits that Isaac killed in the desert was Grant and his mates. The leader with the long white hair and blue eyes had clothes that were similar to Grant's, and was turned into a hunched-backed monster, just like Grant's monster form before he was turned back by Trevor. Towards the end of the scene, the camera zoomed in on the monster's sad-looking face. This seemed like a wink-wink to the audience of what was to come later. Although it should be noted that it's not the first time we are tricked into thinking that a background character was going to be important later. Like in Season 2 when it seemed like the evil bishop was going to be a main character like Shaft or something. Then Season 3 finally came, and we found out two things. First being that the guy we thought was supposed to be Grant was just some guy. And second, Grant was only hinted at briefly as a man on a boat with wheels on it that calls himself the Pirate of the Roads. Yep, that's it. Not an appearance, not even a mention of his name, just a very brief mention. Now I know what we're all thinking. What kind of heartless asshole would do such a thing? Well, the short answer is Warren Ellis, the head writer, didn't like Grant. Long answer is that Warren had reasons for taking a shot at Grant like that. He thought Grant's last name was stupid, and that having a pirate in a landlocked area makes no sense. Mr. Ellis, I don't mean to sound like an ass, but your reasons are incorrect. Grant is not a pirate. He was never a pirate. He was a noble thief. And in the end credits of the original game, it says he's an acrobat. Also, Grant's last name, Dynasty, is a reference to Dynasty, which was a Wallachian noble house. I know these are common misconceptions, but don't you think you could have done your research? It only takes a few moments of your time on the internet, free of charge. Warren even stated that a character simply called a captain had nothing to do with Grant either. That's right, Grant wasn't even good enough to be a side character. But those are just his reasons that Warren had stated. Let's look into the other possible reasons. There wasn't enough time to introduce him, and Grant wouldn't fit in the story. These were reasons that I've heard some people say, but they still don't add up. Because the writers could have just introduced him for like half an episode tops, and of course Grant could add to the plot. In Castlevania Judgment, it's real that Grant didn't attend Trevor and Sypha's wedding and was jealous of their relationship. Maybe they could have done a love triangle plot. I know it sounds cliche, but just because something is cliche doesn't mean it can't be written well. Funny enough, Grant is no stranger to being excluded from Castlevania media. The slot machine game of Castlevania 3 has all of the 3 playable characters, but Grant is only seen as a picture in his original sprite at the end of the credits. In Bloodstained Curse of the Moon, Trevor, Sypha, and Alucard have counterparts, but Grant doesn't. And in Castlevania, The Lords of Shadow, Grant is replaced by someone else with his last name. And you guessed it, the other 3 are there. I swear, it's like Grant got the whole Waluigi treatment, a fan favorite that was cast aside as a footnote. Even if you don't like Grant, you gotta feel sorry for him. First, the American version of Castlevania 3 gave Grant a short-range attack instead of his infinite throwing daggers in the original version. Then they made him a Marilyn Manson-looking mummy in Castlevania Judgment. And now, he's cast aside with barely even a mention on the Netflix show. But to end on a positive note, I guess you could say that when Trevor and Sypha met Grant in the show, they decided to leave him behind instead of taking him with them, just like an option in the game. Oh well.